Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Hiddings, and today I'm going to be presenting my fourth case study for my fieldwork class at Ball State. So let's get started. The client we're going to be talking about today or presenting about that I will say is we'll say his name is Devin. He's a 6-year-old boy who was just recently diagnosed at the age of 6, who just joined our clinic. Currently, there are other no diagnoses at this time that we know of. The target behavior, problem behavior of concern we're going to discuss today are his tantrums. And operational definition is the client engaging in body flopping on the floor, crying and screaming with loud vocalizations, magnifying for a very long period of time, more than 10 seconds, and putting his hands over his eyes. So the response class for this case, we're going to discuss about the problem behavior occurrence specifically happens. The recognition of the function is for tangible reinforcement. Tangible behaviors occur due to denied access or unwillingness to share and the inability to communicate consistently which toys or tangibles or items that the client is looking for. So the response class with the problem behavior is hitting, open-handed or closed-handed contact with a swift motion. So it could either be with a fist or it could be with a slap, like similar to a high five, coming in contact with another adult or a child. Aggressively reaching and lunging his body to achieve the toy or action he wants. For example, he will want to go play on the swing, and right now, instead of communicating an approximation, he will just lunge his body with all his might to go towards whatever item, specifically if it is the swing. So he would lunge towards the swing if other friends are even on it, and crying for longer periods of time rather than communicating what he wants. The intervention we plan on using for him is a differential reinforcement of alternative behavior, where the client will use approximations in speech indicating the toys or actions the client wants, similar or functional communication training. So an example would be for tickle would be TT. So teach or also teaching the client to point or use hand gestures to indicate the toys that he wants. More so about the intervention, so emphasizing that functional communication training or FCT. So teaching the client to effectively man or ask for tangible items. For example, you would if he wants to swing, use that approximation for his language that he can use. So for swing, you can go wing or ing or something to the effect where he is still manning for that item, but he can't fully say the word. Using an extinction strategy when the client engages in tantrum behaviors or other problem behaviors, so that you're reinforcing that appropriate behavior as opposed to that tantrum behavior. So as I mentioned before, appropriately getting the attention of another child if he wants a toy that he/she is engaging with, while teaching multiple ways of functional play skills. So also like teaching sharing or waiting to allow the child to realize like, oh, it's wait our turn if we want to go on the swing. So the rule govern contingency intervention add on top. So, as Cooper says, rule govern contingency intervention is behavior control by a verbally mediated demand or rule. So that another one we will show, since he engages in hitting, the client will show nice hands while engaging with the toys. So no throwing, no swiping the toys off the table, hitting other kids or adults with those toys that he throws or strikes them with. If the client shows any signs of inappropriate use or dysfunctional play with these items, one warning is given to the client before the toy is removed. And so teaching them that strategy as well. More about the rule govern intervention. So we're going to be promoting safety for increasing appropriate and alternative behaviors, as I mentioned before. Example, while the client is playing on the swing, he does not bang against the wall or swing too high to decrease the likelihood of injury. So not too much obnoxious play. Promoting sharing if another child is engaging with a toy the client is interested in. The child starting to engage in tantrum or problem behavior. He has to wait longer to receive the toy or is redirected to another activity. Timers will also be presented as well during this intervention to help the client learn, like if we want a turn, we can first appropriately ask for what we want, but then also if the other client that is currently playing with that toy is not willing to share the item, then we can appropriately use timers to increase that sharing between one and the other individual. So far through this intervention, the last couple months, there's been no obstacles since the intervention has been implemented. So they were effective once immediately for this client, and the client since the last month especially has shown significant improvements in his behavior and is using way more communication and functional play school skills as he is at the clinic, especially as well with sharing and asking for turns. We've seen remarkable improvements in his behaviors. And just use Cooper, and that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation, and I will see you guys next week.